And we are live. Do you guys realize that today is the last day of 2024?
Last day.
Last
Love it.
day. We are going
Onward.
into 2025. I mean, think about that. All right. So both of you two. Oh, by the way, welcome everybody. Matt Bright, Curtis Tyree, and me. And did you guys, when you were younger, look back? And I know neither of you are quite as old as I am, but did you ever look and say, remember can you imagine how old we're going to be in the year 2000 and then 2010? Oh my gosh, how are we going to make it? Did y'all ever do that same thing?
Oh yeah.
Yes, and I still feel like a child. Like now I'm like
Now, wait a
now
minute.
it's
Are you talking
50.
about feeling like a child or acting like a child, Curtis?
Both, right?
Okay.
Definitely a difference on that one.
Yeah. Listen, there's that thing, and Janie tells me this all the time. She said, you have not in a lot of ways matured since you were 15 years old. And it's like, well, that's guys. Come on. I mean,
Sure.
hey. But anyway, all right. So we got diverted there. All right, guys, let's go into it. Starts and stops. But before we do, tell me about your biggest observations from 2024.
You go first, Matt?
All right, I'll go first. So, my biggest takeaway is life goes on, guys. 2024, interest rates, all that good stuff. It seemed like the sky was falling. And the truth is the sky's not falling. In business, life goes on. Life happens, right? We have these life events. So in the real estate world, life events kind of control how we operate. People get divorces. People get married. People have babies. People grow old. So that being said, I think that's my biggest takeaway in the real estate world as far as this year goes. Life goes on.
Yeah, it does. It's funny you say that too, because the sky was falling, 6 months ago, or for the last 6 months on the general side with all of the NAR settlements and all that stuff. And the sky's still falling if you ask some people. Although all the reports say that the numbers are up at the end of the year. Year after year, the numbers are up. And it's like, imagine that. Curtis?
Sure. You know what I think my biggest takeaway is? Nothing changed. We were waiting. Everybody's waiting for these big changes to the industry, right? Didn't happen. So nothing changed. It was almost business as usual, and some sort of a kind of a carbon copy of the year before. And so here we are. And so if you sat around waiting, I think you kind of missed the boat. I think there's a lot of people that might be in that situation, and yet they're looking for a change and for the new year to be different. And I don't know that it's going to be. I think we're going to see, much of the same with maybe some slight improvements or some differences here and there, but nothing changed. So.
Wait a minute. You're saying that people expected things to be different, but they didn't do anything different to get different results?
Well, yeah, I think I think people sit around and I'll wait for interest rates to come down.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that didn't happen. So you waited for nothing, right? And those that didn't wait around for that, were in action and doing whatever they needed to do to make things happen, right? And so for many of us, I think we just get caught up with the waiting around let's see what happens, and yet nothing changed.
Yeah.
Same
all right.
old, same old. So
yeah.
Same old,
right?
same old.
It is, and it's going to be the same this year too, right? For those that aren't willing to grow and to get out of the box and stop doing certain things and start doing other things and continue doing the same thing that they've always done, expecting a different result. Is that Brian Tracy quote? That's the definition of insanity, or wherever it came from in the beginning. Who knows? Everybody claims it at this point, but it's the reality of it, right? All right. So with that, let's get into the stops. Okay. And the first one, it goes kind of with this, right? Stop listening to the noise around you. Either of you, go.
Yeah, well, bottom line is it's irrelevant. And so we're all in real estate, right? Whether it's new home sales or general or whatever. And you can look back. I don't know. It doesn't matter what market you're in, right? There's thousands of markets across the country. Real estate is, local or whatnot. But here's the deal. there's never been a time in the history of the world, right, that 0 houses have been sold or bought and sold, or 0 mortgages have been done. Like none, zero. Like there's never been a time where like it just stopped and nothing was happening, right? So doesn't matter what interest rates are, doesn't matter what inflation is, doesn't matter what the economy says. Houses will still be bought and sold, mortgages will still be had, and salespeople will still sell because they got to sell to the people that are doing the thing, right? So nothing stops, and so therefore you can't listen to that noise, and you can't sit around and wait for, as we just talked about a moment ago, waiting for, well, let's see when rates come down, or let's wait till after the election. Well, by the way, that's over. Or let's wait until the feds meet again. Like stop.
Yeah. And you know what's funny about this whole thing about listening, about noise, is it gets to the point where you listen to so much noise and then it gets caught up in fear of missing out, or FOMO. And I would love to take a survey of the top agents in the country and say, guys, do you all listen to noise? I guarantee you they don't. Guarantee it. And that is something in my career I do not listen. I could care less what anyone else is doing. I don't know anyone else that succeeds that listens to noise.
Well, that goes into your second one for the stop piece of it, right? Is quit being scared, right?
Yes.
And when you ask that about the top agents that are around, and where it doesn't matter if it's general or new construction, doesn't matter. The top ones that are out there that are doing what they're doing on a year-to-year basis don't make time to be scared.
That's right, because they've set a plan in place, just like we talked about 2 weeks ago. They set a plan in place and they follow plan executes, they succeed.
Yeah. Well, and notice how that was worded too. You have to make time to be scared.
That's right.
It's a choice. It's a choice whether you're going to log on to all the news networks and listen to it. It's a choice whether you go down the rabbit hole of social media and get involved in those groups and start just piling on with it. It's a choice what you do every day, right?
Yeah, there's a great line in The Wolf of Wall Street when Matthew McConaughey is talking to Leo for the first time. He's like, it's a fugazi, whatever, it's fairy dust. When we all listen to the news and all that good stuff, they know as much as we know. So that's part of that noise. You all have to set a plan and execute plan. That's where that comes in.
Wait a minute. Did you just say no one has a crystal ball and they're all just kind of guessing anyway?
That's right. I have a crystal, but she's at home and she can't tell me. So
that's right. Say Happy New Year, by the way.
Happy New Year, sweetheart.
There you go. All right. Here's a big one. Okay. Stop waiting for leads to come to you and for walk-in traffic. Y'all go ahead.
Huge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was that it? Was that
it?
That was just it. Will you continue on the other part of that?
That's pretty crystal clear right there. Like hello. It's like just it is. I mean, look, if you're not, couple of things. First of all, you got to be committed, right? So I've made the commitment. I'm in this industry. We stop listening to the noise, as Matt and we've all alluded to. And you put your plan together, as we talked about over the last couple of weeks, and then you go and you execute and you do it at a high level. And I know that, as we talked about, lead generation, not waiting or being an order taker, as many people were back when we had the boom a year or two ago, where it was quote unquote easy. Lead generation must be part of the plan, and you've got to execute at a seriously high level. If you're committed to this industry and you want to survive and live your dreams, make all the money you want, and hit your goals, right? Like,
and you can, because there's no ceiling, right?
No.
Not that I know of. Have you guys seen a ceiling? Have you heard of a ceiling?
Well, in fact, just saying, I read a couple of articles, and I don't know about the accuracy, but it came out from a couple of different sources. There's a huge separation over the past year or two with people in the industry. Those that were committed, excelled. And in fact, some of them are running around cheering and saying, I had one of the best years ever. And you have other people that are going, oh, that was the worst year ever. What's the difference between the two?
Activities and mindset.
Yeah, man.
Execution.
Yep.
Yeah.
Executing on the plan. You got it. All right. So, and here's a part that goes with that, right? Is stop failing to practice your craft and sitting on your fingers, butt, hands. I don't know, something.
I'm still stuck on Matt talking about he's trying to do a Matthew McConaughey impression saying Fugazi or whatever. So we have to revisit that sometime.
Well, they've got the name that's the same, so there's probably there's some similarities in it. I can see some McConaughey in Bright there.
Not that good looking of a dude.
Hey, you put your hat on and your leather jacket, go to the Texas games, you'll be right there with him, buddy.
Yeah, I guess I could go all right.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was good.
All right. Sorry, you were going to say something.
All right. So to capitalize off of Matthew McConaughey, I hope he's not listening because we might get copyrighted. But the Green Light, his book or whatnot. So let's go forward. You got me off guard on that Matthew McConaughey thing. I actually was going to ask you guys this to go back on something for the agents out there and for the lead gen. What, for them to start right now, what's the one thing you guys would recommend for them to do right now?
Hold that. Hold that.
2025.
Hold that thought. Hold that, because I got it. Right. I mean, I think we've got that on the starts. Right. So wait 1 second on that one.
See, I'm so eager to know that.
So, all right. So, yeah, hold that. And Rob, I'll answer your question. So, you talked about practicing your craft is really what you talked about, right? So, or what you asked. And then we got sideways with Matthew McConaughey, which, by the way, you kind of sound like him. I'll just tell you a quick story. So a couple of years back, I was coaching right after COVID. I was coaching a couple of real estate teams, and all of the people on their teams were brand new. And two separate teams, and they were all brand new. And I thought, how can I best help them? And what we started out doing and what we did consistently every single week was we were on Zoom, of course, because it was COVID times. And all we did was practice scripts and objection handling. And it was always the objection handling of the moment. So they would bring to me, right? Because the market's always changing at different times. You're getting different objections. You're getting rates are too high. I'm waiting till after this. I can't buy now because I'm out of town or COVID or whatever. Doesn't matter, whatever it was. But all we did was practice scripts and the objection handlers of the moment. Each and every one of those people sold a ton of real estate and made hundreds of thousands of dollars. They were all brand new. They had all just received their license within a 6-month period of time before we had started that. They are all super successful to this day in real estate and continuing. And what was interesting was started out as an accident. I didn't actually realize that that's what we needed to do, and yet that's what we did. And as I look back, I'm like, that's it. That's the thing. Like selling a home, showing a home, those things are not that difficult. Like that part's not hard. Opening doors and this is this and that's that and telling people what things are. Yeah. But learning how to talk to people and generate leads and help them make buying decisions and stuff like that, that's the hard part. That's the hard part, right? So we did the hard part. We mastered it, and they're all successful to this day. So, and if you're not doing it, shame on you.
Yeah, we've all seen this too. Leads are easy. I mean, here's the reality of it. There are plenty of leads out there, The process is, what do you do with them where they are in their process, so that you can help them get to where they want to be at the time they want to be, if not sooner. Right? I mean, that's that piece, and the only way to do that is to practice.
Yeah.
Only way.
About conversion.
Yeah. I can have 5 each. So conversation. You ready? A former coaching client, team member. So what's on your mind? She says, nobody's answering the phone. I said, oh, really? That's interesting. Tell me more about that. She said, well, nobody's picking up the phone. And when I get them, I'm not converting where they are. I said, oh, interesting. So tell me more about that. So how many calls did you attempt yesterday? Well, I didn't do any yesterday because I did 20 the day before, and I didn't do any the day before that. By the way, the 19th of the month was the day this. I'm going, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so why not? Well, I don't know what to say. Oh, tell me more about that. Well, I haven't made the phone calls to practice. Oh, I mean, you see where this goes, right? It's like, all right, come on.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. One more on the stop. Stop being focused on the outcome. Ooh, that kind of goes back with that conversation right there, doesn't it? Right? Stop being focused on the outcome. Are you guys focused on the outcome? I mean, to a point, yes, we got to hit the goals. And
yeah, to a point. Stop being focused on. You need to focus on the here and now. It's exactly what you need to focus on. Each situation dictates, each moment dictates, and that's what you need to focus on, the here and now.
Yep.
Well, I think, yeah, and to Matt's point, we alluded to it last week. The outcome is what it is. What we need to focus on is what he just said, is the here and now. It's the what we're doing right this very second. The outcome will be the outcome, right? Yep. So we have to do this at the highest level, whatever that might be, whether it's lead gen or practicing or whatever. And our preparation for that and how well we do that determines what the outcome is.
Yeah. It's like Michael Phelps practicing his kick turn. Right. And he focused on the kick turn 1,000 times a day, not the actual race that it was going to get him to at the Olympics.
Correct.
Yeah, it's being able to control the controllables. Don't let the uncontrollables control, because they don't control. Yep. Control the controllables.
Yep. You got it. Awesome. All right. Now let's get to the fun part. Start. Well, look, this goes right into it. Start focusing on the activities. And what's the other part of that? What would be once you do that? Once you focus on activities, what do you have to do?
Execute.
Measure what?
Yes, track them. Right?
I was like, kind of.
I got you off guard, but I knew you'd come up with it, right?
Yeah.
It's both of you guys. You both track your activities. You both try. I mean, everybody, again, you go back to the ones that are successful. You focus on the activities and you track them, right? Because if you don't track them, how the heck do you know what you need to practice to get better at?
Well, it's what's working, what's not working, all the things, right? Like,
yeah, it's interesting. You was discussing about the time, about talking to that lady about time. She does it 19 times in one day at a certain time. Well, she didn't try it the other times and all that, right? So she didn't. Got to track that. Might be beneficial data.
That was part of that question. So what time of day are you making those calls? Is it all in the morning? Is it all in the afternoon? Is it all in the evening? Well, what happens if somebody works a third shift? They're not going to answer your damn phone in the morning. I'm sorry. I said, okay, no, it's all right. This is an adult conversation, right? They're not going to answer your phone call in the morning if they're working third shift because they're asleep. That's their nighttime. It's like, think about this process. And here's that other thing. You get into that, the 7 to 10 days of pain. It's you try morning, you try afternoon, you try evening, because again, you just don't know. You have to continue. But if you're not making enough calls, how do you ever get to the point where they answer? Right.
Yeah. 19 calls isn't going to get an idea of what's going to do what.
No.
You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of hours. Hundreds and hundreds of telephone calls.
Yeah. And it's funny, a couple of weeks after that, I saw probably one of the better the best ISA guys, right? Inside sales guys post his results for the day. And we always talk about 100 outbound dials are going to lead to 5 conversations, are going to lead to 1 or 2 appointments. And that's accurate. And he posted that, and that was spot on. I mean, it was 100 dials. It was 5 conversation. It was 2 appointments for that day. And he says, this is what I do on a daily basis. And I'm going, okay, so wait a minute, you're making 20 calls. And by the way, by the 19th of the month, she had made a total of 39 outbound dials and had 2 conversations, which, wow, that's spot on the ratio.
Sure. You know, and to your points, we talked about top salespeople before and the separation over the past couple of years between top and others. Go call top salespeople. They'll tell you. They're tracking what's working for them, what's not working for them, what it takes to generate a lead or to convert or whatever. Like they know. They know, you know, and they're doing the work, right? So,
yeah. All right. Start. Double down on lead generation and follow up. Huh. There's a theme. I'm seeing it. I'm hearing a theme.
Yeah. Well, there's fewer, you know, statistically, and you can go look, there are less buyers in the market, right? It's more inventory. When you're talking about, you know, general real estate, there's more inventory out there for sale than there was obviously pre-COVID or COVID times and the boom and all that stuff. And then builders, of course, trying to keep up with their pace and whatnot. But reality is there's less buyers in the market because of the interest rates, elections, all the objections, whatever, right? We get that. So you do have to double down on your lead generation. Like you do, if you're going to succeed, survive, right? Because we haven't seen this big decrease in the people that are in the market as far as the salespeople, right? Like there's still tons of salespeople out there trying to sell real estate. But if you got less piece of the pie, you got to do twice as much work to get your little piece. You know, there's a great quote. What was it? You know, I just like to. I read it in a book. I think it was Warren Buffett. When the tide goes out, we get to find out who's swimming naked, right? Or something to that effect. And there are a lot of people swimming naked. And they have been swimming naked for the past couple of years. Well, you can't swim naked anymore. Put your swimsuit on. It's time to get to work. And by the way, you got to double down on it. Just because not everybody's come out of the woodworks yet. Yeah. They haven't. And I don't know that they're going to. We're just this. And by the way, that's a normal market.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a normal market.
Yes. Well, keep that in mind that we are depending on the estimate that you look at, we are anywhere between 2 and 7 million homes short of need.
And that's still a big number, right? So
it's massive.
The opportunities for buyers, the opportunities for sellers is there. What I like to think of is that with lead generation, if we're not having a 2021, right? We're not having this spectacular time that's why all these real estate agents came into this because, well, they were a FOMO, they're fear of missing out. They're going to miss out on all these opportunities. And the ones that are doing, 80% of the work are only 20% of us. So that being said, guys, you got to focus on life events, things happen in those lives. Are you going out? Are you finding out, what industry is around your area that's moving in? There's so many opportunities, and I could discuss this all day long about life events. And that's what you guys need to discover is what life events are happening around you to succeed, to gain those lead generation.
Yep. Death, divorce, and marriage, right? Death, divorce, and babies.
7 Ds, right. They call it.
Yeah, exactly.
And believe it or not, what industry is thriving in your area? Is there companies moving into your area?
Yep.
Those are contacts that you guys need to go find out, research, and get a hold of. They're not going to come to you. I can assure you that. You might get one from the main players as far as like Zillow or Realtor. But if you go out and you be that front for that company, I guarantee you they're going to come to you. I've seen it time and time again.
Yeah. Well, you think about, when you talk about double down on lead generation too, and you look at the funnel of lead generation, you've got the someday, you've got the 6 months to 1 year, like 1 year and beyond, 6 months to 1 year. And then you've got and I'll split the bottom part into two levels just for fun, is the 90 days to 6 months. But then you've got that bottom part, the 30 to 60, 90 day market, right? Every agent out there, it doesn't matter if you're in general side or new construction, wants 30, 60, 90. They're all looking for 30, 60, 90, right, Matt?
Yeah, get me started on
Yeah.
that. So,
and here's what's,
with new construction, guys, how awesome would it be to have somebody under contract that is a 6-month lead that you're going to ignore?
That's it. Yes.
I mean, there's so many opportunities, so many tools in your tool belt that you can utilize to gain somebody that it's not funny, especially with new construction. So definitely get on that new construction train.
Well, and you start working the ones that are beyond that bottom level of the funnel just as much as you work the bottom level, from 90 days and beyond. Most of the time, if you do an education process and keep in touch with them, their time frame cuts in half. Right. But if you're not doing it and you're not doubling down on the lead generation and the follow-up piece, right, Curtis, to do that, then they're going down the street because you're not alone. You're not the only one that can give them the solution to what they're looking for. We would love to think we are.
And all of this talk right here that you're doing, goes back to tracking, goes back to conversion, goes back to your scripts, objection handlers. And, you're 100% spot on with we're looking for that 30, 60, 90. We're looking for that right here, right now business, right? And unfortunately, we can't see past that. And that's the missed opportunity, right? Yeah. And some of that business that we think is 6, 12 months out, whatever, may in fact not be, if we were better at our conversations and the ability to convert people and help them move forward. And yet we're just, again, as you just said, focused on the 30, 60, 90, and we lose a lot of that business that's beyond that. We just do. And
which goes into the next one, start practicing your skills.
Yeah.
Right? On a daily basis, start practicing your skills. So I know both of you guys do that. I mean, you do that with your consultants, Curtis and Matt. I know you've done it. I've seen you do it, where you're doing that piece of it. And that's why you guys have the success that you do.
Yeah. So, I mean, practice makes perfect, right? I mean, it's cliche, but it's absolutely the truth. Nick Saban won all those championships by what? By practicing the right way. That's the one thing he will always say. We practice, but we practice the right way. And that's what we need to take into our business is and practicing gets us out of that, that we get into our comfort zone, so to speak. It just becomes more comfortable by practicing. Just become more comfortable. Yeah. And that's, for a lot of people, I would say 90% of people, they're just scared of accomplishing that, talking to that client. It's not comfortable, so they don't want to do it. Right. So just practice.
I don't, lead gen like I used to, because I'm not in direct sales. And yet I still have to pick up the phone and have conversations with people from time to time, whether it be a salesperson that works with me or for me, whether it be someone that I might be recruiting, whether it be a customer, maybe I'm handling a complaint or a challenge or something. And, just to throw it out there, I even practice those conversations. So for instance, before I have to pick up that phone and make that call, I sit and think, what's the desired outcome that I'm looking for? Okay. And then usually I'll pick up the phone and talk to someone like you, Rob, or I've got some other people that I really respect their opinions and challenges, whatever. And I'll actually role play that conversation a little bit with them so I can get a feel for how it may or may not come out so that I get the desired result that I want. And I don't think, when we talk about scripts and role playing and practice, we are oftentimes just talking about that lead gen, and we're not talking about like all of our conversations. Like they're all so very, very, very important. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there because I think that most of us are just shotgunning and winging and whatever. And therefore we don't get the desired result that we are looking for. And that's in every conversation.
Including the ones you're having at home.
Yes, sir.
Right? Yeah. Kids, spouses, family, all that. It's
Right. So, I mean, in the scheme of things, what I just heard from both you guys, what are we? We're guides. We guide people. Curtis, you're an ASM. You guide people. Rob, you're getting ready to go that boat, and I mean, you're going to guide people. You do in your coaching. I do with my clients. I guide people, and it's something to I don't know. We should be proud of that. We should be proud to be able to guide people, and the only way to do that is we know our craft, we practice our craft, we understand our craft, we learn.
Which goes into the next start: increase your knowledge and use of systems. Look at that. It's like we practiced this or something. We didn't, by the way, for y'all that are watching this. Increase your knowledge and use of systems, right?
Matt, tell us about your systems. You're in it every day.
Man, I am constantly learning. Like I constantly want to learn. I constantly study. Probably a little bit too much, tell you the truth. In the fact that, like, just for an example, I started taking a new construction class. I literally could write this book, tell you the truth, but I want to learn. I want to know something that I haven't learned yet. The best way to learn something, believe it or not, guys, is to teach it. So, and that's currently what I'm doing is I'm reaching out to those buyer's agents and having a class on January the 8th. Kingsport, Tennessee, come out and see me. I've put this together. This is not a company thing. This is a Matt Bright thing to get back to you guys. And the best way to know something is to teach it.
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah.
I did. I read it this morning. Learners are earners.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's true. That's true. No doubt.
And I know there's stats out there that say, listen, those that engage in learning and a growth mindset earn, whatever it is, 2, 3, 4, 5 times as much as the next person. Like you can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Which let's go into, because it's 9:03. So let's go into the last one. And I want to actually dive into this one, especially because Matt asked what's the one thing, and he does this already well. And I think the other piece of this that we don't do from the conversations that I've had even enough. And again, Matt, you do this well and you're doing it at a different level, but on both sides, the general side and the new home sales consultant, realtor outreach. And it goes both ways, right? Outreach on both sides, whether you're on the general side, contacting Matt Bright, right, to be a partner, or whether you're Matt contacting realtors in your area to bring you referrals. I'll talk about that in a second, because I went in and said, and actually I wanted to give everybody some specific numbers, right, on how to approach this in a little ways. So we'll get into that, but give me your thoughts on that piece from both directions.
Matt, that was a you question, brother.
Okay. So all right. So one thing I understand is real estate agents are our bread and butter here for new construction. We really like teaming up with real estate agents. And for me personally, I want to be able to give something to them, give them value, show them how this works, show them how they can continue to prosper beyond just the new construction side, and see a whole neighborhood, the ability to farm a neighborhood, so many opportunities. So, that's my approach as far as give them back. Now, my approach on a daily basis is that I'm really good at seeing what we have available. And I'm really great at knowing what agents are out there that have certain clients, because I've talked to them, I've dealt with them. And I'm able to reach out. Believe it or not, you'll have some real estate agents that they do a lot of townhomes, or we'll have a lot of real estate agents who have a price point in the 400s. Certain price points, certain things that certain agents just kind of have their little niche, and I know that. So that's kind of my thing is I'm able to recognize something and reach out to the right
I
person.
got a lot of that I want to piggyback on, but go ahead, Curtis.
Oh no, okay, no, go ahead. I love listening.
I just heard him say multiple things. He knows what they're looking for. He knows their price points. He knows who has what. He knows who specializes in niches. There's only one way to do that, and that's to have conversations, right? And he also said something else especially for the general side too. Are they farming the neighborhood that he's selling? Right? Because that is, I remember that, with the Jonesboro neighborhood, right? There on our street, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signs on that street within a year, within a year of it being completed and sold out, right? Every single one of them had a different agent on the sign.
And my next question on that is how many use the same agent? That
I didn't.
mine is blown. My mind is blown right now.
Guy, this goes to that. Yeah. So, all right. On the general side, you guys have to start working with on-site sales consultants, right? And don't be, and I saw this post the other day too. Oh my gosh, this company, and I'm not naming any companies. Oh, I'm never going to take them there because they're going to do this. It's like, listen, not every company is the same, right? Not every builder is the same in how they do things. There are some that, yeah, right? But there are in the form of you guys, you love working with agents. You realize that in most of your areas, that's potentially 3,000 partners, right? Depending on how many board of realtor members. So I put this together really quickly to say, okay, office and meeting visits, i.e., are you going out as a on-site sales consultant working with a builder? Are you making outreach to offices and going and hosting their sales meetings? Are you presenting? Because the other piece of that is they don't know what you have. Conversation in point. Janie and I were out to lunch, had an agent come in, and when she said, and she and her husband, and she said, do you know anybody that's got something available in this 400,000 range that's in Richmond Hill? And I'm going, well, yeah. XYZ Builder has a brand new development down there. They've actually got move-in ready ones, and they've got ones. What's their time for? Who? Where is this? Mm-hmm. Now, shame on both sides on that one.
Yeah.
Both sides, on the builder side and on the agent side, right? I mean, let's be real. That's on both sides. How many offices and meetings can you get into on a weekly, monthly basis to present what you have and how you work? Second piece, are you having coffee with agents that are out there? Again, both sides. Matt, I'm calling you. Matt, let's go have a cup of coffee, right? You're calling me. Rob, who you got? Let's go have a cup of coffee, right? How many times are you doing that? On-site tours. Are you bringing agents to your communities, right? And giving them tours of, again, what's there? Because here's the thing too. If they're coming to your community and touring it, that's probably a different agent than sitting in the sales meeting. Maybe some of the overlap, but you're getting two different groups in the same office, right? Outreach and calls. Again, not 20 one day, not 39 for the entire month, but are you making calls on a daily basis to build relationships with agents? Again, both directions. Handwritten note cards. Who do you send them to? The agents you had conversations with. Because they're going to remember if you do that. And then, Curtis, this is right up your alley. Add everybody to the CRM.
Hello. You just said it. I think, all of the things you alluded to are obviously spot on. And the one thing you said, and it just comes to mind because I think we all, building relationships. That's what this is about. This is about building relationships on both sides, both ways, all the things, right? Like we're all in this together. We're just trying to sell some homes and change some lives, right? Including our own. Yeah. And so there's too much of this or not even that at all. And this is just building relationships.
There's
Get
not
out
enough
there
of
and
this.
network your tail off. That's what it's about.
Yeah. On the new construction side, Matt, you got 3,000 agent partners out there. For the agents that are out there, you've got 30, 60, 90-day closings all the way up to a year closings. You could have them set up for the next 20 years in reality.
That is correct. And just to piggyback off this is 3,000 agents, right? We said earlier that 20% do 80% of the work, right? So let's do the calculations here. If a builder for us, Curtis, and soon you, Rob, if we got 20% of the agents to understand the concept that we have, there is not a builder in America right now that would be sitting with any inventory on the ground.
100%.
I can assure you that. That is and that is a builder. That's as much a builder problem as it is an agent problem. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with that. That's as honest as I can be. You know, and my little tidbit to every builder in America right now is that individualize your product as well. And what do I mean by that? I mean, just like I said before, I have agents that have buyer's agents on the other side that have certain criteria that they meet. If we individualize our product, say like we have, it gets really confusing when you have a neighborhood and it's full of inventory on the MLS and it's a picture of a house that makes 0 cents. Start individualizing that house. Make that house a priority. Each and every house becomes a prioritized. And you will cater to those individual agents and build more relationships with other agents, other agencies. I could get on a spill on this one too.
I think we all could on this one. Hey, just a side caveat. I want somebody's head to spin when they go back and watch this and comment on this. Can you imagine if the builders had a resale division?
Oh my goodness. Cut him off. Cut him off.
Because Matt, how many times have you gotten a phone call from somebody that you sold saying, I need to list it, I need to put it up for market? You can't do it, right?
Too many times, to be honest with you. Too many times that I sold to them and they had a great agent, what I considered a good agent, and they don't call that agent. They call me. That should never happen. That should never happen. You should be at that point in the sale, especially if you spent 4 to 6 months with them, you should be about best friends with that individual business-wise. I mean, they should understand that you are the cream of the crop and that you will satisfy their selling. You know, you as a great buyer's agent and you can sell that product on the other side.
I'll tell you, if I'm on the general side and I'm getting started, I am going to work Matt Brights all over my area. And I'm going to bring you people and I'm going to get to know you. I'm taking you out for coffee. I'm going to take you out for lunch. I'm going to bribe you as much as I possibly can without anybody. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Don't do anything stupid. But not only because here's the thing. I'm going to focus on your communities because now in about a year, if not less, now I've got resales that are coming up. Now I get to be the listing agent in that neighborhood. Yep.
That's exactly right. I would say, honestly, you would capture this is just a roundabout with a neighborhood of, say, I don't know, 100 units in a year. My estimate is if you don't get 5 listings from that neighborhood, I would be shocked.
Yep.
You know, you just brought up another point. We didn't hit it. We don't have to go into it. It's just pretty much a simple statement. And this is to start doing if you're not already doing it in general. And actually, if you're a builder rep, study the market. Market knowledge is key, really. Your market knowledge, your area is key. Knowing all the things.
You know, I actually had somebody, it was in this interview process, had a conversation with a national VP of sales. And she asked me, should sales consultants on site have as much market knowledge as the resale and the general side? And I said, oh my gosh, yes, if not more. Right. And then had another one too. It's like, listen, why would they come to your community as opposed to a different community?
Mhm.
Do you have the market knowledge where if I ask you that, can you answer that question? You know,
Sure.
what is the difference between yours? What is the market knowledge? I mean, because you're getting asked, Matt, Curtis, I mean, you guys, how's the market? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What do you do? Real estate. How's the market? All right. Well, oh my gosh. How do you answer that question? Is it the standard? Oh, it's great. Or do you actually have something to say?
Sure.
You know?
Sure. No, and you know, and you just and Matt alluded to it earlier. He's talking about top 20% selling 80% of the real estate. That's actually like that's true. Like you can go look it up. It doesn't matter where it is, right? So
Yeah.
Matt, if you've got 2,000 or I think about 3,000 real estate agents, you know, in your particular area, so 20%, that's 600 people. That means you need to go find out and figure out and meet those 600 people. At least start there, right? And then you can get through the rest of them. But 600 are the players that you need to be in relationship with.
Can
right?
you
And
imagine
go from
if
there.
you just got 10% of those as your
Oh my goodness.
partners? That's 60 a year. That's 60 that are just, even if they just sent you one a year, that's 60 additional deals a year. You would not have anything. You wouldn't have any inventory.
That's the whole point. That's what every national builder needs to realize. Every builder. I'm sorry, not national builder. I shouldn't say national builder. I should say every builder.
All right. So Matt, I've got a gift for you. Okay.
Wait,
All right.
you can only give it to him if he says, all right, all right, all right. One more time.
All
close.
There it
all
is.
right.
Oh,
All right. I made a chat GPT prompt for you. Okay. And I'm going to send it to you. And obviously it'll be there. But let me just do this. Hold on. All right. Can you see it?
yes.
All right. So you were talking about how we have, and you want to journey market and video the journey, right? So check this out. I'm an on-site sale, and you can change this, right? But I just kind of did it general. I did it specifically for you, for DR Horton, sales consultant aiming to create high impact 30-day social media campaign, attract my ideal client, tells them a little bit about that, gives them a little thing, right? Then I hit go, and this is what it gave me. Home is here. Your journey starts from key to forever. We've got you covered. Talks about the structure. Day one, your first step to home sweet home, what your hook is, your script, your clips, your call to action, your first comment that you're going to put on there, your suggested captions, your SEO optimized hashtags, and your audio even that is there that is included. Then it goes in and it tells you day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, because you are one of the best at putting stuff up, day 6 through 10, 11 through 20. And then it asked, would you like me to expand on specific days? And again, I'll send it to you. All right. And I'll post this prompt, and it starts with the entire voice script. Hey there, if you want to expand on it, call to action reminder. And then it asks you a question. So you can go down a rabbit hole, but here's what it does. It takes the guesswork out of what you're going to post and turns you into that storyteller and the source of everything.
Look at you, you little AI expert. I'd love a copy of that as well.
He's going to have a robot doing this next. He's going to have him a little AI robot right beside him.
Y'all did see my AI coaching thing. Oh, that's a whole different. Yeah. I made an AI chat.
Nice.
Ask it anything you want to. Called Ask Max. All right, y'all. Hey, this has been fun. Always grateful for both of you, and always grateful for the conversations. And any parting words? Last thoughts?
Get to work. You got what was that I sent today? It said something about you got 365 days of a new book. Write a good one. Something like that.
Yep. 365 blank pages, right?
Yeah.
They can be anything you want.
Make 2025 the best year ever by focusing on your business and your family. Don't forget your family, guys.
Right on.
Huge. With that, everybody, Happy New Year. Make it fantastic, and we will see you next year.